Hey guys, welcome back to Pokemon TCG Pocket. I just woke up and saw that we had a new trailer for the new mini set of cards. Now these are going to include 80 cards. Massive shout out to Pokemon Zone over here for the article as well. But we've got a bunch of the cards to look at, which is the big thing. I will play the trailer at the end of the video. I'll chuck timestamps, but I want to jump in first and actually talk about what we've got. So in that they say there'll be 5 trainer cards. We've got blue as one of them. So I'm assuming we're going to have like red and blue, which is really cool. Don't know who else we're going to have. 5 Pokemon EX cards and at least 2 immersive cards are confirmed. I would 100% think that Mew is going to be the immersive card. I just think like the Mew EX just has to be immersive. But I want to go and talk about some of these cards because some of these cards I absolutely love, and I think we could definitely have some at least fun decks to play with. So Mew is a really... I just love this card. The fact that we have 3 colorless and the card's effect is choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks and use its attack. It's not like Ditto where you have to have the energy. At least that's how I'm reading this. So we have 130 HP, which puts us beyond any straight kill limits. Kind of like Starmie EX, which is really fantastic. Then we have a 1 retreat cost, which is really solid as well. Obviously, we're going to be weak to dark, but the fact that there's a lot of decks that I play where you kind of play them and you're like, okay, this is a really solid deck. Except we get absolutely clapped by the big setup decks because we don't have a counter to it. So with any of those decks, I feel like you can just slap a Mew EX in it. Now, it is a bit slower if you're only wanting 1 copy, but we'll have to wait and see. But I think Mew EX is going to be a absolutely amazing card for rogue decks. I think it's just going to be huge for those rogue decks. Honestly, I think it could be pretty decent just in if you play a standard Psychic deck, but... overall, yeah, I'm really liking the Mew card. I think that's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. The next one we have is Aerodactyl EX. Now, this is another very interesting one. We've got the 140 HP. Your opponent can't play any Pokemon from their hand to evolve their active Pokemon. The thing with this is, it's a little bit awkward because you're only going to really trap... I mean, you can use him as a trap, but then they can still retreat out. I don't know how effective this one will be. I've got to play. This is one of those cards I really need to play to have a full idea. Because the problem I see with it is like, okay, if you're going to stop them from evolving, 80 damage is going to pretty much KO any basic Pokemon that you come into. So not really a stress on the evolution. Some stage 2s you might trap that have like 90 to 100 HP. And then you guarantee them not evolving to get the kill. Like if you're playing against like a Marchamp, they get into Machoke and you're like, nope. If you get the Wartortle, does Wartortle even have over 80 HP? Dude, I can't even remember. But like there's like, I don't know how often the trap is going to work. The one situation in which I think the trap could work would be if you have Aerodactyl, you don't have the energy on it, you just put it up so that you can stall, get something else built up, and then switch in, but they can still switch out. They're not locked from switching, so that's the awkward thing. So, I don't know. I definitely think someone will find something for this one. I'm just not seeing it as being as... like, I'm not as excited about it as I am about the Mew EX. So that is that one. Next up is Execute. Now, this one doesn't really make sense. Aside from the idea that maybe you might, when you have an Executor, try and retreat it in the current state of the game. But we do have another one when we look down here at Vaporeon, who allows you to shift energies around. So anything that, like, I think maybe if there's some sort of grass way to switch energies around, then we could be cooking. But besides that, I'm not too sure. We'll really just have to wait and see because it doesn't really make sense for the current state of Executor with a 1-cost attack. Outside of the fact that it is a 3 retreat, so now you're only an X speed away from retreating, which could be actually really useful in some situations because you have to attach to the first energy to actually get the grass energy, or it allows you to run Executor in a non-grass deck because it's colorless, but however, that would require you to 100% start with the Execute, otherwise you're going to be boned anyway. So Maybe execute with fossils in a, nah, because then if you get the other one on the bench, you're kind of boned. I don't know. We'll have to think about that one. Snivy, we'll just have to see what Superior has. Can't really comment on that. What do we got? 70 HP. Yeah, the 40 damage on the 2 energy. I hate these ones, so I don't like the 2 energy basics. We got another one. Not like honestly. It is what it is. We need to see the evolution. Delmise. Okay, if this Pokemon has at least 3 extra grass energy attached to it, this attack does 70 damage more. Kind of like a pseudo Lapras is essentially what we're looking at. With that one, pretty much the exact same effect. Look at it. Lapras perfectly on the right-hand side. If I just scroll it to make them line up, it's like literally 1-for-1. 100 HP basic Pokemon, 1 energy cost, 20 damage, plus 70 if 3 extra energies. So Delmise is just the Lapras, is what we're looking at. Moving on from that, we've got a Magma with 80 HP basic, 80 damage, which is huge for a basic, but we're discarding 2 fire energy. Now, you may compare that to Ninetales, which has more HP, and I think Ninetales has 90 HP and discards 1 for 90 damage, but the trade-off is that Magma is a basic. And once again, Magma does have a 2 retreat cost. In general, I'm just not a fan of this. I think it's a bit too... I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to go ahead and just build a what's it called? A Ninetales. But maybe in those Blaine decks, as a 1 tech option, you put in the 1 Magma that in a pinch can get you the last kill for game with this. Maybe that's like an option. Not too sure. We'll have to wait and see. Larvesta, we just got to wait and see evolutions. Once again, 2 costs to 30. He does have 80 HP, so it's a bit chunky, but 2 retreat costs really sucks. Vaporeon, here is another great card that I love. As often as you like, during your turn, you may move 1 water energy from your benched water Pokemon to your active Pokemon. So as often as you like. So as long as you got a ton of energy on the bench, you can swap in whoever you want, and they get loaded up. Now, there's a lot of cool water Pokemon that I really enjoy. One of them is Gyarados. But Gyarados just sucks because you manually placing all your water energy. Yes, you can use a Misty, and it gets kind of bricked. Now, do I think this is going to be a meta call? No. But do I think it could be a better way and a fun way to play a Gyarados? Yes, because now we can play Gyarados with this, and you can have the Gyarados on the bench, not worry about any of the energy. You can have like your quicker water Pokemon putting pressure on you, getting the energies on them so they can put pressure. Then you can retreat them out and then swap that energies over, and then you're cooking. Next, we have a Pikachu card that doesn't have an image, but it's basically mini Pikachu EX, except it only does 10 damage for each of your benched electric Pokemon. 60 HP. Honestly, not too bad as a basic. Getting 30 damage if you like. Obviously, you need the bench full, but I mean, if you're running the Pikachu Raichu Surge in the Pikachu EX deck, it's honestly not too bad. Then we have Dedenne. Now, Dedenne is another really nice card. Really annoying card. We do see a lot of the a lot of people running the single Pincurchin in the Pikachu EX deck. I think this just pretty much replaces it. Yes, it's weaker, it doesn't do as much damage, but it's the same principle of getting your paralyze hacks, but it's only got a 1 retreat cost and it's only got a 1 cost. So that 1 cost, even though it is only 10 damage, is very, very helpful. It's kind of think of this like the new Jigglypuff that also deals 10 damage. It's pretty much what you're looking at, but it doesn't have the evolution, so you don't have that extensive play to do with it. But I think this card will be annoying, and people will play it. Marshadow, we've got 80 HP. We got Revenge 40 plus. If any of your Pokemon were knocked out by damage from an attack during your opponent's last turn, this attack does 60 more damage. So we've got a basic Pokemon with a 2-cost 100 damage Revenge. Honestly, it's not too bad. That could be good in a lot of situations, and you play him as a pivot. It does only have the 1 retreat cost, which is super helpful as well. So you can use this guy as a pivot revenge killer. I think that's pretty solid, to be honest, because we do have a lot of fighting Pokemon that do have the low retreat cost as well. Like, this could even like open up ways to do 1-pointers with the normal Marowak, let it die because it's not too important, and then just revenge with this. I don't know. I think there's going to be plays. I need to cook with that one a bit more to do it. Tauros, a card that just really doesn't see any love at the moment. Okay, Fighting Tackle. If your opponent's active Pokemon is an EX, this attack does 80 extra damage. Honestly, It's not too bad, except once again, he does have the 2 retreat cost, but it is 100 HP. It is 100 HP. I'd kind of prefer to have Mewtwo EX, to be honest. I mean, sorry, not Mewtwo, Mew EX. I do see a situation in which Taurus would be better because it's only a 1-pointer and stuff like that, and it's the same principle. You got 3 colorless, load them up, and then the idea is you can get the kill on a big threat. But this is only going to end up being 120, so you have to do chip damage into the big threats before you put him in. So I don't think it's going to be crazy, and the 2 retreat costs I don't like, but we'll have to wait and see. Okay, blue. During your opponent's next turn, all your Pokemon take -10 damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. Kind of like a reverse Giovanni. I do think this will see some play, especially for decks that have key cards that get like KO'd by the 90 damage. I think this will definitely see some play in that sense. But we'll have to wait and see. I think this is one of those cards where it's the same as Giovanni. It literally depends how your general matchups in the meta are to whether this is going to be a good card for your deck. And we'll have to wait and see. Then we got Leaf. During this turn, retreat cost of your active Pokemon is 2 less. That's good. That is very good. So obviously for a lot of retreating, that is good. The one downside to this is that X speed is just a normal item card, whereas this is a supporter. So this locks you out of your other supporters. I do think some decks will use this. I think this is one of those cards where you've just got to really play in a deck and feel it out to see how it feels. That is my thought on Leaf. And it would require decks that have a lot of high retreat costs, because if you got some with only 1 retreat cost, then you're kind of getting a waste by putting this in because you might not get it in the right situation. So we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, not too sure. So other Pokemon that we saw Liepard, Magikarp and Gyarados, Volcarona, Mankey, Superior, Slandit, Rapidash. Okay, I hate saying this guy's name, so I'm not going to try. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to it, and then we got the new campaigns with the extra goodies as well, dude. It's gonna be good. I've been hanging out for this set because honestly, the meta is getting a little bit stale. I've been hanging for something. This is real spicy. Let's jump in and watch the trailer now. All right, here we go. See the Volcarona in the background as well. Sweet. And once again, on December 17th, it's looking good. I'm guessing by that it is going to be Aerodactyl as well. That's going to be the other immersive, just because they focus so much on Mew and Aerodactyl, and it is the Mythical Island, which kind of makes sense. But maybe we'll get something different, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, guys, as always, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.